This is MFG Out Loud. Courageous conversations about sales and marketing for today's manufacturers. With your hosts, Ray Zaganto and Allison DeFore.
Hey, Trailblazers, welcome to the very latest episode of MFG Out Loud, or as Allison and I have decided to start calling it, the latest episode, and Allison and Ray talking to people way smarter than we are. So to keep up with that trend, today we're really thrilled to have an extra special guest with us, Mr. Justin Goldston. And let me tell you a little bit about what's going on with Justin. And if you haven't done your brain stretching exercises yet today, now's a good time. While I'm talking, you do some stretching because you're going to need it. Mm-hmm. We're thrilled and honored to welcome Justin with us today. By way of background, here's a brief list of some of his accomplishments so far. Justin's a professor and coordinator of project and supply chain management at Penn State. Yes, that Penn State.
The Penn State.
The Penn State, excuse me. Nicely done. You see what we're in for? He's a TEDx speaker. Now, normally that'd be cool if you did that once in your lifetime. This guy did it 5 times. He's done it 5 times on topics ranging from Web 3.0 and the blockchain effect, blockchain, the true sharing economy, and I'm sure there's probably a couple others in there too, Justin.
Quite a few.
See, he's done some awesome stuff. But wait, there's more. He's an author. He's published a book called Critical Success Factors in Enterprise Resource Planning Implementation in U.S. Manufacturing, and that's available on Amazon. So Justin brings that rare combination of leading-edge theory and real-world experience to his students, corporate clients, and supply chain professionals around the world, and we are so thrilled to have him here today. We couldn't ask for a better guide on our journey today to talk about things like blockchain and stuff like that. So Justin, welcome to MFG Out Loud.
I am honored, and this is going to be a fun conversation. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's the best way to start, because the topic, I got to tell you, is, sometimes it's a stretch that you got to go digging into stuff to find the real story behind it, because sometimes it gets lost in the jargon and everything. But for all of our listeners, our courageous conversation today that everybody's going to be excited about is going to be about moving from Industry 4.0 to Industry 4.5. I know what you're saying, what? And a big piece of that is blockchain. So let's just start from the very beginning. What exactly is blockchain? Help dispel the myths and the legends around what that is and what it isn't.
You don't want to take me out to dinner. You just want to get into it, huh?
Let's go.
All right. So a lot of people, whenever people think blockchain, they think Bitcoin. It is not that. Blockchain is the technology in which, Bitcoin and Ethereum is built upon. Now, to kind of put it into context, so people will say the blockchain is a distributed ledger, but a blockchain is nothing but decentralized computer networks. So think about a decentralized spreadsheet on my computer, on your computer, on Allison's computer, okay? Along with hundreds of other people. If I perform a transaction, if I sell you something, now all of those people within the blockchain say, okay, yep, that's good, yep, that's good, yep, that's good, yep, that's good, yep, that's good. So it's consensus based. So you have to reach a consensus in order for that record to be written to the blockchain. Now, where the power of the blockchain comes into play is that the larger the blockchain becomes, the more secure it becomes. So if I pissed off Allison and I created that record and Allison says, I'm about to hack this thing. So Allison changes that record and I say, hey, Jack, that's not right. You say, hey, that's not right. Other guy says, hey, that's not right. That's the power of the blockchain because it's transparent. So if there's any kind of change, any kind of tampering, it's seen immediately by everyone. So if someone wants to truly hack a blockchain, they have to hack every single one of those computers, every single one of those nodes within the blockchain. And that's what makes it powerful. And that's what makes it secure. And that's why I believe, in my opinion, that it has a place within manufacturing.
This to me is so, I learned so much when we first talked to you. And I really didn't fully understand blockchain. And I was like a blockchain dummy. So the thing that really surprised me, and I'm imagining a lot of our listeners, is the whole idea that the bigger it gets, the more secure it gets. Because I think most people probably thought the opposite. Do you find that?
I find that a lot, and I find that once I give my elevator pitch for blockchain, people understand and say, that would work. And I did another podcast talking about blockchain about 2 weeks. Well, I did a discussion whenever we're going through our little election mishap, and I said that on one of my TED Talks last year, I said, imagine this. I said, imagine if we were to put an election on the blockchain. Imagine if you were to sit in your home and vote for the next presidential election on the blockchain from your phone, right? If we had, just hypothetically, if we had that, how much we possibly, I'm not gonna say we possibly would not be going through the stuff we're going through right now.
Yeah.
Because you have that transparency, you have that security. And those use cases are transferable to every single industry, but it's very powerful in manufacturing.
Wow. Well, so let's dive into that a little bit more, because the majority of our listeners are manufacturers or consultants to manufacturers. So what are some of the possibilities for blockchain and manufacturing that you think diving into in this podcast?
So let's take the aerospace industry, for example. The aerospace industry, of course, has a lot of regulation, and they have a lot of supply, a lot of contractors, I will say, right? And I know that if there's any kind of change to an engineering drawing, if there's any kind of change from a manufacturing engineering change notice or anything like that, they have, in some cases, you have to have individuals to go to that manufacturer and hand deliver this drive, and you have to go into the back room and put this drive into this secure computer and upload any kind of drawings. Now, if we have a secure blockchain, now all that's done on the blockchain between that contractor and the government, and it's secure, and it can be consensus based. And another thing, so with that one, you're not going to have the same blockchain that we use for the election example for everybody to see. And using Lockheed and the government, right? You have a permission blockchain. So the permission blockchain is where you would have your assign, and you would have tokens, and you would have things where you're identified through transactions and hashes. So you have permission blockchains where it's secure to certain people within your blockchain network, within your supply chain network, within your manufacturing network. And then you have permissionless blockchain. So going back to manufacturing, our permissionless blockchain is, if I'm in the agricultural industry and I'm going to put in all of my lot numbers for my lettuce, okay? I put all of those lot numbers for my lettuce, and now that gets sent to the distributor. Now the distributor has their information on the blockchain. Now that information gets sent to Whole Foods and Wegmans. And now Whole Foods and Wegmans have their information on the blockchain. Now when I scan that head of lettuce, and then the manufacturer has a recall, hypothetically, we don't have recalls. Hypothetically, I can go on the Wegmans app, put in that lot number, and they can track and trace that lot number all the way back to the manufacturer. Now going the other way, if that manufacturer understands what lot number it was, now because it's on the blockchain and because it's transparent, now he knows exactly what Wegman stores have those heads of lettuce based on the lot number, like that.
You shared some examples, Justin, and there was, I don't know if it was papayas or what it was, something went to mangoes. Share that story. I think the orders of magnitude that we're talking about here are just staggering.
Yes. So Walmart. So the whole blockchain use case within supply chain management came about in a project between Walmart and IBM, and you put me on the spot here. I forgot the exact number of days. Another second other days. I think it was 6.5. I think that it took Walmart 6.5 days to track down a lot number and understand what stores a particular lot number of mangoes was sent to. But with the blockchain use case, the blockchain application that Walmart created with IBM, they were able to track down that lot number in 2.3 seconds. Mind blowing.
Yeah, from days to seconds.
Yes.
Well, I have a question. So let's say someone listening, and this may be a dumb question, so you can tell me straight up. If somebody listening is a manufacturer and they think, you know what, this whole blockchain idea sounds fantastic. I want to be part of one. Do you want to reach out and do you create your own? Do you join in with one that pre-exists, like within your supply chain? Can you enlighten us on that?
So there are some consortiums. So that's an excellent question. That leads me into one thing I wanted to talk about. So the United States Department of Energy has started an institute. So it's called SESME. It's a long name. So it's called the Clean Energy Smart Manufacturing Innovation Institute. Just try to say that one time. Not only say it 5 times fast, just say it one time. So it's an institute, again, that's funded by the Department of Energy. And they currently have a call for proposals out where they have a cost sharing, where if you put up 100,000, the government will give you 100,000. If you can create a application to assist in sustainable practices that can assist in efficient processes within manufacturing. Now, whenever you create this application, it goes onto what they call a smart marketplace. And this marketplace has a number of, because they want to democratize smart manufacturing. They want to democratize technology within the manufacturing industry. You know, so we have these software, I'm not going to say any names. We have these software vendors, you know, that have their applications, right? And you're essentially locked into those applications once you go into that ERP system. So you have to use the shop floor control within that manufacturing application in most cases. You know, they do have some product agnostic solutions, but they lock you in. With this, what SESME is doing is it is making solutions that are able. It's like an app store. That's exactly what it is. So I'm pretty much flipping on my manufacturing facility, and I'm building my technology stack using the SESME App Store.
Wow.
So there are solutions out there for blockchain. Now, you know, you may have, and it's open source, so you actually may have to make some modifications, but you have the foundation, right? You have the framework, and outside of SESME, which is doing some amazing things, you know, I'm all about sharing knowledge. I'm all about sharing solutions, because that's how we're going to create a sustainable environment, right? So, but you know, there's also other consortiums where manufacturers will come together and collaborate and share knowledge and share applications. But also some of these providers are providing these blockchain as a service solutions, where, you know, they provide you with an option. So you don't have to create that blockchain application. And I would, unless you very, 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 very specialized. I know everyone says we're different. Everyone says it. I was in consulting for a number of years. Everyone says it. You're not. So there are solutions out there that can get you, based on your requirements, where you don't have to create a blockchain application from scratch. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yes.
Justin, I got a question for you. Is one of the myths that I think exists out there, blockchain is something that the big companies, you mentioned Walmart and IBM, again, within our listener base, we've got, 1 to 10 employees, we've got hundreds or a couple thousand, employees that are listening in, and part of the tribe. So is that a myth? I mean, do you have to be a huge company in order to take advantage of blockchain, or is there a place?
Not. Absolutely not. And that's why I come and share this information, because I think to have a true change, I think that the small and medium manufacturers, and when I was in consulting, I was primarily working with small and medium manufacturers. So we were talking about artificial intelligence. We were talking about machine learning, and those are the ones that's going to benefit the most from this application. Now, I will say, before I make this next statement, we're a few years away from this, but just like how EDI, about 9 years ago, when Walmart was instituting to say, you have to have EDI in 8 months or we can't do business with you. I was working for a distributor, and they had to implement an ERP application just because of Walmart, right? To get those EDI capabilities. Now, are they going to institute that in the future for blockchain? I don't know. But the more and more manufacturers that adopt this solution, the more and more you're going to see your suppliers asking you to join the blockchain. They're going to ask you to be transparent. Now, to say that as a manufacturer, do I have to create the blockchain? You have to collaborate with your network to cost share.
Right.
Let's just say this is going to benefit all of us. If we provide our transparency, now we're able to be proactive in our supply chains. Now we're able to create a competitive advantage, because right now with the sustainability that I'm talking about with a lot of organizations, this is what the customers want. And if you're selling if you're in aerospace, you need that transparency, right? If you're in food and beverage, you want that transparency. I would say in the next couple of years, those customers want to see the source of their products. They want to see what farm that apple comes from.
So it's almost become, if I had to guess, and you're the professional here, but I would think.
No, I said the Holiday Inn Express last night.
You look refreshed.
Guess that most manufacturers will end up being part of a blockchain.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I would say some people that's listening to this are part of a blockchain and don't even know it.
Interesting. I bet you're right.
In what way?
Amazon on the back end, Amazon is performing transactions and they're writing it to the blockchain. It's just like, so just think about the data that's being collected on whenever you go shopping on Amazon, you are a part of probably the largest AI system in the world.
Yeah.
How do you think Amazon is showing up at my house every day? Because artificial intelligence is telling me I need to buy this stuff for my 6-month-old daughter after I buy something for her. I had no clue, like, I might need that. They know more about us than we do. Yeah. And like I said, to be honest, Amazon is writing transactions to the blockchain because it's transparent. It's transparency. So we've seen the hot water that some of these now. I'm not going to say manufacturers, but just hypothetically, like with the Facebooks and the Instagrams and all this stuff, with them getting called in and testifying in front of the courts. Amazon's saying, "Oh, we're covering ourselves. We're writing this stuff to the blockchain.
Right.
So when they come for us, here you go." Here you go.
This is really heavy topic or aspect of blockchain is cybersecurity concerns, right?
Yes.
So you could shed some light on that for people listening who are thinking, I don't know. What are the concerns with security?
So that was one of the biggest concerns in terms of blockchain. Again, this comes from experience in working with companies on building blockchains. This comes from over about 2 years of academic research, when there were about maybe 100 blockchain articles in all academia. Now there are thousands, and I can't catch them all, but I'm catching the big ones. But I'm not going to say nothing's ever going to be perfected. Nothing's ever going to be foolproof. But I think that blockchain, I would say that, and I'm not being biased here. This is backed by research, in that it's one of the most secure emerging applications out there. Now, again, I don't work for any company. I'm a professor at the Penn State University, right? But and again, when we're doing a lot of research on blockchain. We're doing a lot of research on artificial intelligence. We're doing a lot of research on machine learning. And whenever during the pandemic, when we talk about cybersecurity, I was terrified, because that was the most vulnerable time for the world, because the entire world was open. And now, and there were some Garmin. I think Garmin was hacked. There were a few more large companies that were hacked, but I was saying, "Oh my goodness!" I said, somebody might go for Tesla. Somebody might go for Amazon. Somebody might go for Walmart. But yes, they have measures in place, but there were so many breaks and exposures to their supply chains, right? So what was that?
That's what made them so vulnerable.
Yes. And that's what I talk about to my fellow researchers. That's what I talk about to organizations I work with, where yes, these technologies are amazing. I said, but these technologies are coming out before we can prove out the security of these solutions. So I am not a cybersecurity expert by any means, but before you implement a technology, find a cybersecurity expert and ensure that those measures are in place before you implement these technologies that I'm talking about. Right? I know the security with, from a blockchain perspective. I'm not sure about the security for AI. I'm not sure about the security for ML and things like that. So that's the one thing, because I don't think there's an answer right now, because like I said, there's so many companies that are rolling out these solutions.
Yeah.
You have artificial intelligence companies popping up literally every day.
The scary part, right, is that the security follows the technology.
Yes.
It's impossible for it to happen the other way around, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how can I have a secure network for something that doesn't exist? You make a good point. That was pretty good.
She's smart. She's really smart.
You can come lecture one of my courses. We'll talk about that. Check it offline.
Oh man.
Really unsmart. So that was, I feel happier now. Little validated.
Yeah. That I like that. That's brilliant.
Oh,
we need to write a peer-reviewed journal article on that one.
Right here.
That's happening.
I'm so bummed. It's like the time is up and we need to close
Already? Oh.
so Before we let you go, because there's so many things that we can learn from you, is there anything that you want to leave people with around the move from Industry 4.0 to 4.5?
I would say it's here. It's here. And the first step in the process is understanding what your digital transformation maturity is currently. You're not going to be able to go from Excel spreadsheets to artificial intelligence, right? It's going to be, it's going to be a progression. You're going to go from Excel to, business process automation, workflows and things like that. Then you'll be able to move to machine learning. Then you'll be able to move to artificial intelligence. Now, that's one thing that's very important, where you have to move up to these emerging technologies. Now, these technologies, well, I will say that these technologies are going to be a differentiator. These technologies are going to be a competitive advantage. If you don't look into these technologies, your competitors are looking at these technologies, because that's all we're talking about at these conferences that I speak at. That's all we're talking about: blockchain, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and we're talking about sustainability and how we're increasing the transparency and how we are blending all of these, approaches and solutions.
I love that. Will you repeat what you called that? Digital
transformation?
Maturity, yeah.
Yeah, digital transformation maturity, yes.
Ooh, that'd be such a good article.
And I think the next time we meet, our next topic.
There you go.
We're going to need you back, Justin.
Hey, you have my email.
and everybody else will soon.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. I'm here to spread the word. I'm here to spread the knowledge, because that's how we're going to get to the sustainable vision, the sustainable goal in which we're all trying to strive toward, try to move toward.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can't thank you enough for being so generous with your insights and your wisdom and your humor and your great little accent.
And the Penn State.
Yeah. And that country accent.
And your brain, and just watching some of your TED Talks. And then I think once we got to meet you, it was just, Ray and I are so thrilled that you would spend some time with us and share with our audience. So thank you so much.
I just tell everybody, I'm just a country boy from North Carolina. I ain't changed. Changed a bit.
Country boy with a big old brain.
Big giant brain.
You watching my video? She's speaking on my big head, people. Okay.
It's got to go somewhere, man.
Right.
That's awesome.
Wrap us up and take us out, buddy.
You bet. So for all our listeners out there, thank you so much for spending this time with us. Hope your brains got stretched as much as ours did today. We had an awesome time with Justin. You know what? If you like what you heard, please do us a favor and hit like. Find us on your favorite podcast source. Like us, love us. Put a couple of comments down for us. Better still, tell a friend. Have them come join us as well, because we sure appreciate you and want to keep putting out information that's good for you, and be sure to welcome you back when Justin's with us next time.
Yep, can't wait.
So everybody keep manufacturing out loud, because we need
you. We need you guys.
Till next time.
Peace out.
Thank you for listening to MFG Out Loud with Ray Zaganto and Allison DeFore. You can subscribe and find show notes at mfgoutloud.com.